What is up, guys? This is me, Johnny Cooper64 here with another YouTube video. And what did I tell you guys? I knew that Toys for Bob was going to be making the Spyro remaster. It actually made more sense than Vicarious Visions remastering the game, since Vicarious Visions just finished last year with the Insane trilogy, and it took him like 1.5 years to do the Insane trilogy, and you know how linear and smaller the game is than a more open world type of game like Spyro. It will have taken more than a year to make the Spyro remaster, and if they made it, it will have been rushed to get it out at September. But Toys for Bob is the ones behind the Spyro remaster, and it actually explains what they were doing, since, you know, they haven't announced anything last year for the Skylanders game, and this year they haven't announced anything at all. But, you know, of course now they announced the Spyro remaster, but no Skylanders, you know. So, you know, that left people, you know, wondering like me on, you know, what they were doing, but, you know, now we got a full confirmation. A lot of people thought Vicarious Visions was making the remaster, since, you know, that's what rumors said, but I'm actually glad that it's Toys for Bob, you know, because it's for the best for the Crash and Spyro series. Why, you may be asking? Well, we know that Crash is going to be getting new games starting next year in 2019, and Spyro remaster will lead to new games as well, and Activision giving both the IPs to Vicarious Visions will have been a bad idea, because not only will that mean that the games will be low quality, there will be less games and less money for Activision. That's why Activision wasn't stupid to give Vicarious Visions the Spyro IP while they were handling the Crash IP. So they gave it to the ones who made the Skylander games, Toys for Bob. Toys for Bob made the first Skylanders game, which features Spyro as the main protagonist. They basically had experience with Spyro. We know that lots of you guys don't like Skylanders, but new Spyro games can learn, you know, from some good elements from the game. But now that we know that Toys for Bob are the ones doing the Spyro remaster, what will this mean for the Crash and Spyro series? Well, passing the remasters, you know, new games will follow, and Vicarious Visions did a pretty fantastic job on the Insane trilogy. They show that they are worthy on making new games, and, you know, along with Toys for Bob, you know, with showing, you know, some of the gameplay of the Spyro remaster, you know, it shows that both of them, you know, are doing perfectly with their IPs. Both companies, Vicarious Visions and Toys for Bob, had to remake the whole trilogy, the whole entire trilogy from the ground up without no code from the originals, along with seeing Vicarious Visions do something new that we haven't seen before in the originals, which was the bonus stage in Stormy Ascent. And Toys for Bob will also be doing the deleted content from Spyro, and it won't be a surprise that they add new content as well. So this means that both of these companies are experienced with these characters and franchises, you know, starting, you know, since, you know, they were making, you know, Crash games. You know, Vicarious Visions, you know, did the Game Boy Advance, Nitro Card, and, you know, Insane Trilogy, and Toys for Bob did the, you know, Skylanders, and, you know, now the Spyro remaster. You know, they're experienced, you know. They know what mistakes not to do in the new games, and along with learning new things when making the game, so, you know, the remaster, of course. So they probably got a few new ideas to put on new levels for new games. With Activision giving Crash Bandicoot a 5-year deal, Vicarious Visions will be the ones to make the new games and handle the Crash series from now on. They're going to be putting the dedication to that series, and the same applies with Toys for Bob on Spyro. This will also mean that the games will not be bad, since they're going to be made by the same developer and not throw it to random developers like they previously did with the Crash and Spyro series. For example, Crash Bandicoot, The Wrath of Cortex, and Spyro Enter the Dragonfly, both of these games are super terrible and rushed, and that's because Insomniac and Naughty Dog were no longer the developers, and they had to give it to other developers, and that's why the games after the Crash and Spyro trilogy, you know, are mixed. But I'm glad Activision was smart enough to give Crash to Vicarious Visions, since Ancient Trilogy was a success, and Spyro the Dragon for Toys for Bob, and I know the game is gonna be a success as well, you know. This will also mean that Vicarious Visions could be making a new Crash game, and Toys for Bob can be making a, you know, new Spyro game at the same year, and same quality, and, you know, them being good, and both of them being experienced with the series. So I expect new Crash games and new Spyro games in the coming years, and I'm glad Vicarious Visions is focusing on the Crash Bandicoot series from now on, starting in, I guess, last year, you know, with the Insane Trilogy, and also in 2019 with the 5-year plan, which will be expanded if the future games sell well. And if Spyro the Dragon sells well, he could also be getting a 5-year deal as well, and Toys for Bob will focus on the Spyro the Dragon series, and will probably put an end to the Skylander series. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comment section below, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.